Hey everyone, Anya here at Our Gabled Home, where I like to share tips for a simple, beautiful, healthy, and sustainable living. And in today's video, I want to show you how you can make a mason jar cozy. Now, everybody loves mason jars. I'm going to show you my favorite one that I take on errands all the time, and I'm also going to show you the latest lid that I'm really excited about. I'm going to be linking it in the description box of this video below. It's one that opens up. You can put a straw in it or just straight drink from it. It's not super spill proof, so you can't turn your mason jar upside down, but it works pretty well, and it comes in two sizes, the regular and the wide mouth. Now, this is my favorite mason jar. You can make this cozy for any mason jar that you have, the smaller pint size, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it. I have another one that I actually knitted, but that's not what I'm going to show you today. Somewhere in our house we found a sweater, my husband's sweater, and I hope you can see this. It has been eaten by moths, and it's actually a really nice quality. It's straight up wool, and instead of just throwing it out, I'm going to recycle this or reuse it to make a cozy for my mason jar. And let me show you how I do that. First, you need to decide where you would like to harvest the cozy from, and I thought it would be really cute if I took one of the sleeves, and I can show you what that's gonna look like. So very simple, just like that. And I have this hole here which I'm gonna actually fix later. You could also use the collar. It will be a little bit more involved because you're going to have to cut it out and make it smaller. So I'm just going to use the sleeve right here. So what I'll do first is I will cut. I'll just measure how big this needs to be. I'm just going to cut generously, a little bit longer than my mason jar, into this old sweater with a bunch of holes. And then again, I'm gonna figure out what I want to do with it. So I actually want, and this is totally up to how you want to do it, I actually want this to just come right up here to the rim, and then I'll have to figure out how I want to do the bottom. So I'll cut this off just a little bit more. And now I need to sew this together so that it actually sits like this. You don't need a sewing machine for this. You can totally do this without. It's going to take a little bit longer. So if you don't own one, or if you don't know how to sew, you can totally do this by hand. So now we'll sew this together. For that, I will turn it inside out. The first thing I will do is use a zigzag stitch to go all the way around so it doesn't unravel. Here I'm just pinning little folds into the bottom of my cozy. So I'm using my pins here. And since this is at the bottom, it doesn't have to be super exact or super pretty. The trick to this is to make the pleats go in the direction of where you're sewing, because if you have them the other way, you will get your foot snagged in there, and then it just becomes really tedious and won't be so pretty. So here it is. I have used my pins to create these little pleats, if you will. And the challenge is to sew this so that you don't actually sew the thing together, but actually only sew where you want to sew. And then I'll just go around one more time with a zigzag stitch just to make it a little bit prettier. So now the bottom looks like this. You can see the little pleats in here. And we'll try this on. So now you have this gaping bottom here, and what you'll do is you'll take a needle and just close these ends together so that your mason jar doesn't fall out the bottom. You can just take any yarn here. That's what I have. And now we'll make the bottom last and stay together so that your mason jar doesn't fall out at the bottom. So all you do is you attach your yarn here and go into here and pull it, and then you go back in here. Then you go into here and into here, and do that a few times until your bottom is closed. There's your bottom, and then you just finish it off and cut off your thread. So here's your mason jar cozy, all done. And this is the bottom of it. You want to make sure that it's pretty flat so that your mason jar doesn't tip over. So here's your mason jar cozy, and what you can do is you can take an iron and iron the bottom really flat so that your mason jar will sit without wobble. And you won't even notice what I have fixed the hole that was in that sleeve of the sweater with all the holes, and that was right here. I'm going to hold that a little bit closer into the camera. Hope you can see it. If you're wondering how I did that, I have another video, how to darn your socks, and essentially it's the same technique. I'll be linking it in the description box below so you can check that out. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button in the right hand corner below. I upload new content every week. You can also go to my blog at ourgabledhome.com where I have more tips and recipes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you here next time.